Welcome back to QP Only Iron Man. Last time we left off by finally finishing off the sheep herder quest and placing first in the herding high scores. This episode will be training a whole variety of skills during a range of quests, starting with Vampire Slayer, which I'll be using to train agility in the Varrock rooftop course. Since Dr. Harlow is just within view of this agility course's start, I can train my agility here. I'll be training here for 20 levels until I get level 40 agility, which unlocks Cannabis rooftop course. This is the first other rooftop course I can unlock, since Falador will never be available for me to train on. This first lab granted me the Varrock achievement task, and after that I did most of this grind on mobile, which means I don't have any footage of the levels I got in between. During the mobile grind I also got a quiz random event, and when I got to level 40 and unlocked the Cannabis rooftop course, I literally cashed in my mystery box and took the 30 marks of grace I had collected so far from my bank. I first completed the Varrock part of Vampire Slayer by giving Harlow more beer even though he was already drunk enough, and then bought my first graceful piece in the Rogue's Den. And with that I got my first weight reducing piece of gear. With the agility grind done, I was ready to complete the quest, so I grabbed the garlic at Morgan's house and awakened Count Drainer in his crypt in the Drainer Manor. The boss fight was incredibly easy, so that wasn't much of a problem at all. Finishing this quest, I also got a decent attack XP drop, which got me a level up. Next up was the Priest in Peril quest. With Roald being the quest start, I decided to kill a few guards and do some raking nearby. And planted an oak tree for a bunch of farming XP. I then started the quest and went to the Paternomus temple, where I fell for the least convincing trick I've ever seen, where monks made me kill a guardian. This guardian was even harder to kill than Count Drainer, and after being laughed in my face to, I ran back crying all the way to Varrock, then planted another oak, and then complained to Mummy about the monks being mean. Roald then told me I screwed up, so I went back to kill all the monks there. In reality though, I just wanted some gear upgrades from the monks, who dropped Zamorak robes. First off, I got a Zamorak robe top, and then another one, and then another one, until I had 5 Zamorak robe tops and no bottoms yet, but after getting level 40 defense for rune armor, they finally dropped my magic bottom gear upgrade, and after I got a few spare ones, I then killed the monk that had the golden key. I picked up the key and asked Drezel what to do with it. He told me to take the iron key from the basement by replacing it with a golden one. I also filled the bucket there at the well, which allowed me to free Drezel from his cell and trap the vampire in the coffin next to him. This allowed Drezel to escape his cell and go down to the basement, which got me to a more interesting part of this quest. Here I was able to go to the essence mine for Drezel, where I got to 51 mining and gathered a total of 1000 essence for future use. I handed Drezel the essence and cashed in an XP tome, which got me to 10 hunter. With the next inventory, I finished off the quest and got a bunch of prayer XP. Remember that I have 20,026 prayer XP, because that will be relevant later this video. The first thing I did in Mauritania was to go straight to the bank and grab my clue scroll with 3 steps completed already, which I got last episode. Luckily, after this step, I did complete the clue, which got me a composite bow. This may be just the best reward possible for my account, because comp bows have the furthest range of any weapon in the game. So this would allow me to kill monsters that would otherwise be outside my range. Next up after that would be the next agility grind, again leveling 20 levels up to level 60 here in Cannabis. The best quest to do this with would be the Creature of Fenkenstrain quest, which starts right in the town center of Cannabis. So I got going with the grind next to the quest start, and then this first lab got me a Mauritania achievement. The first couple of levels were quite easy to get on this course, as well as being a great source of marks of grace. I also completed a few randoms in between, which got me some useful stuff, or in Bob's case some fishing XP. This grind also marks the end of the first month of progress on my account, after which I got 6 hours logged and left this account for a few months. Last summer, around the time of my first video upload, I got myself back to the agility course with the air and mind runes I collected from the magic tutor in Lumbridge as a free to play, and then I got back to leveling my agility more, alternated by some random events. At level 50 I simply kept going here in Cannabis because I had access to it now and the Falador course had no quests near it that allowed me to train there. Also, this course gives me Marks of Grace more quickly, which is just something useful in general. In between the agility levels I also got yet another surprise exam which got me a hunter level. After getting level 58 I got close to getting the full graceful set, for which you see me get the final 10 marks here. I would only need 230 marks because I had already bought the gloves for the first 30 marks. And when I got the right amount of marks, I went to the Rogue's Den right away, where I bought my full graceful set for the first time. With that objective completed, I also went to the Rogue's Den general store to sell some items for their high AUG value, such as some drops I got from the ogresses in an earlier episode. This got me a nice boost to my cash stack, earning me around 130k. To finish off the agility grind, I went back to Cannabis to get level 60, and then I got going with the Creature of Fenkenstrain quest by reading the sign, buying the brain in the pub, and talking to old Frankie in the castle. I then constructed a star-shaped amulet and got the gardener to tell me where he left his head. Before digging it up though, I first chopped some bark, both for the achievement and for a possible split bark set in the future. So I just filled up my inventory just in case. Speaking of achievements, I got another easy one at the tannery, and then went to the farming patch within sight of the tombstone I needed to enter to get to the experiment cave. Here I planted some sweet corn and placed my scarecrow for an achievement. I then placed the amulet and entered the tombstone, to where some of you guys may have some very nostalgic feelings from training here. For me though, this was the very first time I ever trained my combat stats here, because I had always just trained them with Slayer instead. But because this training method was very simple and I also just wanted to get some videos edited in the meantime, I stayed here for a whole lot of levels AFKing the experiments. Just imagine if all the types of experiments would have the quest key as a rare drop. Then the total of 20 combat levels I got in these 3 days of killing these 1279 experiments were all incredibly unlucky, not getting me the key drop I needed for the quest. Of course, if you just never kill the level 51 experiment, you'll never get the key. I did bury all the bones during this grind, getting me some prayer XP on the side as well. During the entire grind, I also kept harvesting and planting sweet corns near the entrance to the cave, which was of course some scenery I had to interact with by pushing it open every time, so I got a steady amount of farming experience there. In total, during these 3 days, this got me a full farming level off of just this one allotment patch. And of course, aside from the occasional farming, this also got me a bunch of random events, which also got me some hunter XP as well. This landed me on 12 hunter with just 8 XP to spare to the next level. Out of boredom, I also did the beekeeper random event, of which everybody knows it is impossible to complete it successfully, in order to figure out what the whole trick to this random event actually was. As you can see here, the whole event is just horrible with multiple buttons just saying OK, all on top of each other, making it really difficult to actually know what you're doing. In the end, I did manage to get the hang of this event though, and collected my incredible reward of just a few noted flags. After having conquered this random event, I banked all my random event rewards and got back to the cave, where I decided to do it again the next time, and I think it must be my herding level which made me get these random events right, because I once again nailed it and collected my incredible reward from the beekeeper. Anyway, after I got that farming level and also my level 70 combat, I decided I would now finish the quest by digging up the head, then killing one final experiment to get the key, burying its bones near the gate to end up on 25,781 experience, which means I killed 1279 experiments during this grind. I dug up the rest of the body parts at a mausoleum, which I was finally able to reach now that I've got the key, then grabbed some required items from my bank and handed the body parts over to Frankie. He made me repair his lightning conductor, so I got the mold from the most logical place, his chimney, and went to Falador Furnace to first shoot a duck with my new composite bow, which got me a Falador achievement, and then smelted the lightning rod. Despite this clear night sky, lightning just happened to strike right when I repaired the rod, which resurrected Frankie's monster. The monster then told me he owned this castle, which sounded reasonable, so I pickpocketed my buddy Frank to steal his ring and finish the quest. And with that, I'm gonna end this episode. Next one will be the first step towards some bigger goals, such as construction, hunter, and just a lot of money in general. I hope to see you then. See ya!